clockwork. Every single week, I will have either people who are just a part of my audience or people in my paid courses say to me, hey, I want to get to the really sophisticated funnels. I want to get to the click funnels, the evergreen funnels, all of those things in my business. I want to be running more advertising to scale my business. And I will say to them, okay, let's first talk about this. How much money are you making right now every single month in your business? And guess what? I would say 99 times out of 100, that response will be not even making $5,000 a month consistently. And I will go back and say, hey, look, and this is what I really want to share with you as well. You can get to all of that. You can absolutely have the awesome funnels, the big launches, the scale in your paid advertising. All of that is awesome. However, if you are not even consistently making $5,000 a month in your business, there are other things that you need to be working on, aka mastering the basics. And I will say that in even stronger tone when someone comes to me and says, oh, Louisa, this content or this content feels too basic. Again, I will go back and say, look, you've got to earn your right to play in the bigger leagues. And that first benchmark is hitting that consistent $5,000 to $10,000 per month. If you're not there yet, you don't need to be messing with the fancy stuff, which is actually good news. It's better news because to get there requires a lot less of the really tactical, sophisticated things that might be overwhelming, especially if you're newer in your business. So, no matter where you are in your business right now, if your goal is to get to consistent $5,000, $10,000 months and you're not there yet, that's what we're going to talk about in this video to really help you master the few things that you need to do to be able to get there. So the number one thing that you need to do is first you need to master your offer. If you are not making sales in your business, your offer is not interesting enough to people who might be potential clients. And so you need to be sitting there thinking about, all right, what is it that is the ultimate end result that someone gets from working with me? I work with a lot of coaching and consulting students because that's the number one way I recommend starting out building an online business to go from employee to entrepreneur. It's the easiest to get started with. And a lot of the people I work with are, for example, career coaches. They take their career experience and help others with that. Or health coaches. They've taken their own weight loss journey to help others with that. And so what we'll talk through is what is the end result that someone gets from buying from you? It's not, hey, and this is a really key mistake. It's not, hey, you get to have this many calls with me or this much email support from me. That's the baseline of what they need to have to get the results that they want. But I promise you, unless you're maybe Oprah, no one is saying, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get some coaching calls with you, right? And so what you really want to be thinking about is what is the end result that I'm able to help someone get. And this applies no matter if your coaching is a bit more tangible in terms of results, like career coaching where you probably help someone get a raise or a new job, or health coaching where maybe you help someone lose some weight. If you are doing, for example, life coaching or happiness coaching, I work with a lot of students in those areas as well. It's the same thing. What is that tangible result? And this goes back to really knowing your audience, to doing some research, to asking people who are potential clients, hey, if I were to work with you or if you were to hire some life coach, doesn't have to be me, what end result would you want? Maybe it's the feeling of waking up every morning and just feeling happy or not stressed or excited about living out your day. Things like that. This is where you really have to go and speak to your audience to understand what it is they want. But that is the core of your offer. What is the end result? How is it going to help me as a potential client get that end result better than any of the other options out there? So is it going to be less work? Is it going to be faster? Is it going to be easier? Is it going to last longer? Is it going to be a bigger result? Like, am I going to lose 10 more pounds than with any other method? Am I going to feel 10 times happier than with anybody else? Really thinking through that and crafting your offer in that way. And I've got a simple tip for really confirming how enticing your offer is to your audience. Get someone on the phone who is a potential client. Now, this has to be someone who is interested in what it is that you have to offer. It can't just be your friend who has never thought about getting a career coach, for example. Someone who is looking for career coaching already and wanting help with that. Get them on the phone and ask, hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but if someone, let's say me or someone else, were to help you to get this result, right? The result that your offer is going to provide, would you be willing to pay for that? And the key is you want to be listening for someone who says, oh my gosh, yes, I need that. Not someone who says, I guess, or I need to think about it. That's them being nice to you. You want someone who is sitting there saying, oh my gosh, yes, I need this. That's how you'll know you've locked in your offer. Now, the second thing that you need to lock in is your audience. There are a few pieces of how to lock in your audience. And so first, you've got to be offering your offer to someone who actually wants it. You cannot just say, hey, I'm gonna help people with this even if they don't want it because they need it and they just don't know about it yet. It doesn't work like that. I can't tell you how many health coaching students I've seen over the years who come in and say, look, I know everybody wants to lose weight, but I don't wanna help with that. So instead, I'm going to help with just feeling good about your body and your confidence. Look, that is a great thing to be helping someone with. But if that's not what they're willing to pay for, you can shout that to the rooftops, from the rooftops all day long, and it will not make a difference. And so what you want to be doing instead is thinking about, look, how can I really speak to what that person, what that audience wants? Do I need to find a new audience? Or if there's no one who wants that specific thing, how can I reshape my offer to speak to what they want? And then on the back end, once they start working with me, I'm going to help them get that result they want, but I'm also going to help them get these other things that they're going to need anyways to get that result. So to make it more tangible, again, using the health coaching example, if you are a health coach and you are so passionate about helping someone get that confidence, that fitness for themselves, when all they care about is losing weight, guess what? In the process of you helping them lose weight, they're gonna eat better, they're gonna get better at their fitness, they're gonna feel more confident about themselves. So it really all comes together. It's just about what you lead with and then what you help them with on the back end. So don't let your ego get in the way of speaking to what your audience actually wants. Now, the next piece of this, which is really important, you have to nail the first piece. You have to know who your actual audience is first, so that you can move into the next piece of having the right audience and market, is finding your audience where they are. So let me give you an example. I will work with students who are also, for example, doing done-for-you services. So let's use a site designer as an example. That site designer, this would be the mistake. That site designer goes online and finds places where other site designers are hanging out and then talks about site design or getting clients as a site designer or whatever it is that they want to talk about. Guess what? That's a mistake because that's not where their audience is. Their audience is people who want to hire site designers, not fellow site designers. And this might seem obvious now that we're talking about it, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen people make that mistake where they go and hang out where their fellow entrepreneurs are doing what they're doing, competing for the same type of clients. That's not where you want to be hanging out. You want to be hanging out where your clients are. So that is really key. Once you understand that, and again, I will get questions, hey, where do I find my clients? Guess what? That's something only you can answer, because no one should know your audience better than you. If you don't know that key thing, you've skipped a key step in building your business. And again, this is something that can be relatively straightforward to find out. Pull up the Google, right? Do some searching for forums related to what it is you do. Go on to, for example, Facebook groups. And again, in the search bar, type out terms related to what it is that you help your audience do, who your audience is, to see what groups they're hanging out in. You can also, again, message, pick up the phone, and ask people who are your friends, but who are also potential clients who fit that profile, hey, where are you hanging out online? What publications do you read? What shows do you like to watch? What platform are you on? If you're on Instagram or whatever platform, who do you like to follow on that platform? Asking those questions will really help you understand, oh, okay, now I get it. I would go here or here or here to get in front of my audience, okay? So that is really, really key, because once you have that, that leads into the third piece, which is continually generating leads. What that means is, I want you to think about this. This is a very common analogy, but it's so on point. If you are trying to go fishing, where would you go to go fishing? You would probably not go to a pond that has no fish, put your hook in and just think, oh my gosh, when are the fish coming? They aren't coming. I just need to sit here a little bit longer. No, because there's no fish in that pond. Whereas if you go to a different pond that has a whole bunch of fish and they're swimming around, it's going to be a lot easier for you to catch a fish once you put your hook in the water. It's the same thing with building your business. You want to think about your potential clients like fish. So if you're posting content, whatever, in a place where there are no fish, like your own website when you're starting out because it's not getting any traffic, or on your own accounts on social media, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever, and you've got a very small to non-existent audience, that's the equivalent of fishing in a pond with no fish. What you want to do instead is you want to go where the fish are and bring them back to you. So what that means is, remember in the previous step I said, figure out where your audience is. And I gave you questions to ask, things to search to figure that out. Then you want to go in front of that audience there, whether that's writing for the publication that they read, or whether that's doing some sort of content partnership with the accounts that they follow on whatever social media platform, or it's going into those groups or the forums where they are and sharing your content, forming relationships, really getting to know them and having them get to know you, and doing that consistently, because what that does is it generates leads and potential clients for you. You want to be driving those back to you to build your audience and to generate sales calls where you're saying, hey, look, I'm getting in front of you, getting in front of this many people. All right, how many can I drive back to me to be interested in what it is that I have to offer? Now, all of this might feel really manual in the beginning, and that's because you're learning a lot of things about your audience that you cannot skip learning. I often have students say, hey, can't I just skip to buying some advertising or having someone do this for me? No, because this is the core of your business. If you don't know it, guess what? It's not going to be your business. It's going to be the business of whoever is doing that work for you. Down the road, if they want to raise their rates or they want to say, hey, I'm going to go into business for myself, guess what? You're back at square one and you're screwed. And so doing this helps you understand where your audience is. It helps you also test essentially for free. Yes, you're using your time, but when you're starting out as a new entrepreneur, you probably have more time than you have tens of thousands of dollars to be testing on advertising. And so what it is that you want to be doing is really just testing, hey, if I try this piece of content or this audience, oh, this is the combination that really worked out well for me. This combination I thought would work out well didn't work out well. And once you have that, what that allows you to do is then take that data after you've tested it and really are confident in it, and then you can scale out to the fancy stuff. Take the content that worked and converted into sales calls, put that into your funnel. Take the front end content that got people to say, hey, I'm interested in what it is you have to say. This really caught my attention, and put that into your advertising. All of those things that you have that now tested for free, and knowing who your audience is, where they are, so that you can also find them when you're doing advertising. All of those things, you can speak to them in your fancy funnel, right? All of those things start with mastering the basics, because without that, it doesn't matter how sophisticated your systems, your processes are, you will fail. And so once you master these, that's the key to getting to $5,000, $10,000 a month. And it's a few things that need to be done really, really well. At this point, I've helped thousands of students through my courses. I've helped tens of thousands more through my content. And I will tell you, it's the same thing. The people who come to me and get results from ground zero are the ones who really follow this advice. The people who I speak with a year, 2 years later and still are stuck in their businesses are because they've gone out and they've been chasing the shiny tactics, the new systems, the fancy funnels, instead of mastering these things. Whereas the people who started with these and really focused on it, in a few months, they're already past those people who weren't willing to really focus on the basics and really slow down to be able to speed up in the near future. All right, so I really hope you take this to heart and really use what I shared with you today to master those basics that are going to help you build a really solid and profitable foundation for your business that's going to allow you to grow it way faster. So if you found that helpful, I've got 2 other really great things for you today. The first is a free PDF on the process that I used myself to build a 6-figure business before I left my job. And that I have since, it's the same process that I've used to help my thousands of students build their own profitable online businesses as well. It's a free PDF. You can get it by signing up at the link either on the screen or in the description below. So make sure you check that out. It's also going to give you the top 3 mistakes to avoid when starting your online business that really stinks a lot of new entrepreneurs. And the other great gift I have for you today is another really cool video on how to build a true relationship with your audience. Because once you've done the things that we talked about on today's video, you're going to want to know, all right, how do I really build that relationship so I stand out and I make way more sales? Because ultimately what your audience is buying is you, their relationship with you. Your product has to be good, but how's it going to stand out from all of the other choices out there? It's going to be that differentiating factor, which is you. So make sure you check out that video. Again, it's going to be on the screen and probably in the description below. That's it for today. If you found it helpful, make sure that you hit the subscribe button to be notified every week when I release a new video like this on building your own profitable online business. So as always, thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.